Hi, this is Robert Ayton, and this is Concordia University EDGR 535, Theories of Teaching and Learning, and this is my final research project, and it is on the flipped classroom. More specifically, the flipped science classroom. And today I want to investigate what is a flipped classroom, number one. Number two, what are the benefits of a flipped classroom? And also, will it help deepen student learning and ultimately lead to academic success? Does it match what constitutes a great classroom and a great teacher, this flipped classroom concept? So let's take a look at what is a flipped classroom. First, we want to take a look at what the traditional classroom is. The traditional classroom, the teacher's role for many, many years has been the sage on the stage. It's where the teacher lectures, he dispenses information to students, he just spews out information. Students are supposed to just soak it all up. And then students are supposed to go home for homework and read some more or do some questions, and it's due tomorrow. And so many of my students, when this happens, I find out that only about 10% of my students get about 10% of what I say. And it seems like my stories are about the only thing they get when I'm just lecturing nonstop. And a lot of times when they go home for homework, they're frustrated and they have a lot more problems. But the flipped classroom, the teacher's role is a little bit different. It's the guide on the side. It is someone that is facilitating learning, someone that's engaging students to become problem solvers and independent thinkers and actually lovers of learning. And so what happens is they watch a lecture online. They watch the information, the content being dispensed to them by the teacher themselves, not from someone else, not from a third party, but from the teacher themselves. And then when they come to class, they do what they would have done for homework in an activity, in like a whiteboarding activity, a laboratory activity, some problems to solve, and the teacher's there to help and facilitate that learning. The flipped classroom has two key components to it. One is that it uses educational technology to influence the learning environment. That educational technology is the videos that the students are looking at home. And these videos allow for and provide opportunity for learning through activity. And that also influences the learning environment. And so there's some key benefits to this, and there's some truths and there's some myths associated with the flipped classroom. Let's talk about the falsehoods or the myths first. The first myth is that it's all about the videos, and it's not all about the videos. The videos are just a tool to teach content through an engaging medium. And it's a way for the students to be able to engage with their teacher and learn this at home so that when they come to school, they feel free to ask questions and delve even further. Another myth is that it replaces teachers, and that is so different. That the guide on the side is an absolutely vital component to the classroom. It's not an online class. It's not students working without any structure. There is absolute structure to this. And students are not just in class staring at a computer screen or at home staring at a computer screen. They are learning and they are engaging and they are problem solving. And the students are not working in isolation. It is a group collaborative activity. Some of the truths, some of the benefits of the flipped classroom is it increases your one-on-one time. I've witnessed this big time, is that doing the content at home, it actually increases my one-on-one time with the students. Rather than lecturing to about 30 students, I'm able to engage them one-on-one. And the teacher becomes a facilitator of learning. Rather than a dispenser of information, they become a facilitator of learning. Students begin taking ownership of their own learning, and that's what we want for students that become lifelong learners, to take ownership. No students get left behind. A lot of our students in the lower end of classes, they miss a lot of school. So this flipped classroom means they don't miss anything. And a lot of our upper level students that are involved in so many different activities, when they miss a class, they won't be left behind. Also, probably a huge component of it is that there's a stored archive of instruction. They can continue to go back and review things that they missed or they really just didn't quite get. Last but not least, students are engaged in their learning. Well, the flipped classroom also has some big benefits. Students receive instant feedback. Like I said, more one-on-one time to explain and help students with difficult concepts rather than just trying to get through the information. Students don't get as frustrated. Many times my students, when they would go home and do homework, they feel like they're just lost. And they just don't even do the homework because they're lost. Whereas we're able to do these problems in class where I am available to them. Teachers can revisit concepts that students don't understand. They can go back and take a look. Again, that archive of the video, they can review those questions with students individually. And teachers are there to support students. Students that might not have technology or parents to help them outside of class, guess what? They are able to have more support in the classroom itself. Every classroom has goals, and those goals are trying to lead towards success. And if you ask any teacher, any administrator, what a great classroom looks like, an engaged classroom taught by a great teacher, you would see these 8 things. You would see collaborative inquiry in class, absolute great discussions that go deep and have higher order thinking and critical thinking skills. Greater time for hands-on laboratories that we're able to differentiate our learning to so many different students. You're going to see a class with, again, higher order critical thinking that's led by the students, not by the teacher trying to ask questions to the students, but the teacher being able to Socratically question students and it being led ultimately by the students. Therefore, students are taking ownership of their own learning. These 4 things make up a great classroom, along with these other 4 things. That content is delivered in context to real-world situations. Students are able to make it relevant to their everyday lives. Students are challenged in class on content rather than just hearing information and being a passive person. They're able to be challenged. Students are actively engaged in problem solving. And last but not least, that students are not passive listeners, but they're active learners. These 8 things are found in every great engaged classroom taught by a great teacher. And guess what? That's what the flipped classroom allows you for. The flipped classroom allows you to do all 8 things and to have that in your classroom every single day. Well, the results of some of this flipped classroom, there's statistics. There's a school out in near Detroit called Clintondale High School. The percentage of failures went significantly down. The number of discipline cases went significantly down when they switched to the flipped classroom. Why? Students are engaged. Students are not falling behind. Students are feeling like they've taken ownership. In my own studies this year of just partially changing to a flipped classroom, and I haven't changed fully yet, but I've changed partially to it. Look at the video to the right. That's one of my YouTube videos. It's gotten over 2,200 hits. I only have 30 students in my AP Physics class, and it's gotten over 2,200 hits. Many of my videos have been hit more than once by my own students, which means they're continuing to go back to it. All my videos are placed in an archive on my own website, MrAyton.com. And last but not least, my students feel that this is just absolutely engaging, and they feel like they come back and they learn so much, and they're able to go deeper in class, and they're able to really understand and learn the material. And these are my references for the flipped classroom, but to finish out, I believe a flipped classroom is there to help students and to engage students and provides the opportunity for students to become problem solvers, critical thinkers, and really have deep learning and understanding. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thanks a lot. Bye.